Hello again, SGBers. I'm Companion Wolf. For this week's Smile Game Builder tutorial video, I'm covering quests, specifically how to set up quests on the different days of the week. If this is the first video you've watched in my SGB tutorials, or if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button to be notified of when I upload new videos. Before I begin this tutorial, I have to mention that I haven't been active for a while with SGB or any tutorials for different reasons. With last week's tutorial, which is now this week's, I was in the process of making it, and halfway through I literally lost my voice, so obviously couldn't continue with it, so it was deferred until this weekend, and I did it from scratch so you don't hear my hoarse voice. The other thing I'd like to mention is that I've been pushing towards having a regular live stream for SGB. However, when it came to the actual live date, last Friday, YouTube wouldn't let me live stream no matter what. It was all set up, ready to go, but I just couldn't connect and had to stop. In the end, I found out that of all things, my firewall decided to block OBS suddenly, and that prevented me from connecting. So with that resolved, I tested it out again, and it worked as it should. So starting next Friday, I'll start doing some live streaming with SGB, creating a game from beginning to end, including with anybody who wants to come in and have a say on the matter, or just watch, then they can do that, and we'll see where that leads. A few months ago, Moggy Head asked for a quest where on different days of the week people give different quests. So this is one way you could do that. The first thing we need to do is set up an auto-run event to determine the day of the week. In my event, I've triggered it so it's set to one time only. Don't worry about the map variable ID, that was for something else. Add a player direction from the advanced variable box. This is relevant for something later. We can now assign a variable from the advanced variables to the day of the week, which is under now date, and then you choose the day of the week. I covered this in a previous tutorial, time and date I believe, but to recap here, the day of the week variable value is from 0 to 6. In SGB, the start of the week is Sunday, so this value will be 0 and Saturday will be 6. And if it's set up this way on the different days based on your system's date, not the in-game date, each person who gives you the quest can have a different one for each day. Next, we'll set up Granny from the previous tutorial and still keep her mushroom quest, but we'll do it a little differently and add another quest for if it's Monday. So in her events sheet 1, we put a variable box check with the variable set for weekday and set it to 0 for Sunday, the day that this video was created. And then under yes, display a message box giving the mushroom quest. And then we assign a quest ID variable. In this case I set it to 1. Instead of using the switch to toggle the quest on and off, we're just going to use the variable instead. Then under no, we can add another variable box check, this time with a weekday set to 1 for Monday, and under it's yes, add another quest, and in this case she's lost her necklace, so the quest ID would then be number 2. You can continue adding these variable box branches for as many days of the week as you want quests for, but at the very end, under the last variable box no. We just add a display message for the days of the week when there aren't any quests. Of course, if you have all 7 quests, or if you have quests for all 7 days of the week, then this will never show because all of the days will have quests. Now on sheet 2, which is for the mushroom, add the condition where the quest ID is equals to 1 for Sunday's quest, and then here we check to see if the mushroom is held. Under no, meaning you have 0 mushrooms, add a display message, have you found any mushrooms yet? But under yes, she'll just say, thank you dear, now I can make breakfast. Subtract the mushroom, she'll take it away anyway, and then we need to reset the quest ID to 0 because in some cases it can cause conflicts. Sheet 3 is essentially the same as before, but the condition variable is set to 2 for Monday's quest, and this time she wants you to use the heirloom necklace. Well, in this case I've just used the rainbow amulet, which is under armor, like so. And then once again under the no, she'll say, I'm so forgetful, how can I lose my family's necklace? And then under yes, she'll give you the quest. She'll thank you for the quest. And then she'll take the amulet from you, and once again we reset the quest ID to 0 again. Now for a bit of flair, right before the door I added another event where if Mog the cat isn't in the party, then Granny or anyone else you choose will ask you to take Mog with you. This is noteworthy for Monday's quest, as you'll see. So in the conditions, add 1 to check if Mog is not in the party, and 1 for the player direction, set to 1 for facing down. This is to prevent the event from triggering every time you enter the house from the outside if the random value is set. So we want it to appear randomly as the player is leaving, not as the player is coming back into the house. So start with assigning a random number to a variable box. You can use either the normal one or the advanced one. I prefer the normal box with simple random numbers, and I've set it to 3, which will give the random number between 0 and 3. Add a variable box check for the random number, and I've set it to 2, which is a 50% chance that the message will appear, and the message is, please take Mog with you, he'll be useful for finding things. This is important for finding Granny's necklace for Monday's quest, again as we shall see. So when we go outside to set up the event for Granny's necklace, we can place the event anywhere you like, somewhere random, and add the text that Mog has found Granny's necklace, and add the necklace to the inventory. In this case, same as before, it's the rainbow amulet. So in the conditions, we finally set the condition quest to equals to 2, and Mog is in the party. As I said before, this is important because if Mog is not in a party, the item won't show up. However, if Mog is in the party, then the sparkly thingy will appear and Mog will find it. And on sheet 2, it's just to erase the event once it's found. this condition is set to the rainbow amulet being equals 1, including equipment in case someone wants to equip it for a while and benefit from its status resistance before giving it to Granny, and the event details are left blank. Now while we are outside, we'll also have to tweak the mushroom event as well for the new system. Instead of the switch we had from the previous tutorial, it set its condition to variable quest ID equals 1, and then keep the rest as it is. Picked a mushroom and the mushroom's held, and again on sheet 2, if the mushroom is equal to 1, then it's basically left blank and it will disappear. And we can uncheck collide with player, which is something I didn't do before because the mushroom won't be there anymore. So now we can play test it. I opened up the debug window as well by pressing F5 because we'll need it shortly. So today is Sunday at the time of recording this video, so when we speak to Granny, hello dear, would you be a sweetie and fetch me a mushroom from the forest? So okay, this is Sunday's quest, the mushroom quest, and this is where the random things come. Please take Moggy with you, he'll be useful for finding things. You don't have to at this point, because the mushroom is there, since it doesn't need Moggy. You'll notice on the debug, the FPS, this is because there's a boatload of animations and I have quite a lot of synchronized events, so the FPS is significantly dropping. That's just something to bear in mind. It goes back up again because there are a few here. Right, so talking to Granny. There. So you can do the quest again as many times as you want. And if you don't got the mushroom yet, so now this is where the debug comes in to play. We will reset the quest ID and put the weekday at 1 to signify Monday. So when we talk to Granny again, oh dearie me, I've lost my necklace. I lost it somewhere outside. Could you please find it for me? We talk to her again. Oh, come on. I'm so forgetful. How can I lose my family's necklace? So when we go out without Moggy, then you won't find the necklace, which is somewhere there. So let's take Kitty Cat. Anyway, there is the item. Mog found Granny's necklace. Oh, come on. Right. And then, oh, thank you. This is a family heirloom. I don't know what I'd have done without it. And that's it. Quick note here, instead of using the time now function in the advanced variables as we did, you can use the variable and manually set the weekdays through other events. It all depends on what you want to do. The time and date system is flawed, as evidenced in the time and date tutorial. I'll put the link below. So you won't be able to use it completely for a calendar system, or even significantly It's not practical to use it in this case, especially for Harvest Moon type games. But that said, you can still do that based on playtime. I'll go into that in a much later tutorial, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. And of course, when you set it up, you don't have to have it just for one person. You can copy and paste Granny's sheets to other people, so that on other days of the week at various times you can also set their quests. And if you're feeling particularly daring, you can also randomize the quests that they would give you on specific days. So if we take Granny for instance, what we would do is, say on Sunday, instead of having just the mushroom, we can add a variable box with a random number and put the value, say, to 1, so it'll give us 0 and 1, then a conditional branch for variable box check for random number. If we set it to 0, we can copy this and paste it. I should have cut it, never mind. And then we can cut this and paste it in there like that. And then you can do the same if the random contents is not equal to 0 or it's 1. You can add another quest, add another variable for the quest ID, and then pretty much the same layout. You would add another event sheet with quest ID equals to 3, and then have whatever conditions you want for that particular item. And that ends another tutorial. I know this is rather short compared to some of the others, but I wanted to get something up this week instead of just nothing, and it was basically meant to be last week's, so here it is. If you found this video useful, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already to be notified of any new videos I upload, including some of the RPG Maker stuff, like plugins, and I'm planning on doing a few other game testing things as well eventually. You can also watch the other tutorials in this playlist if you like. And for news and updates, including unique content I don't post anywhere, you can visit me on Twitter and Facebook, or even the Smile Game Builder website, which I admit isn't updated yet because I have been so busy, but I will be doing that again fairly soon. As it is right now, it looks like I will be live streaming next Friday. I'll make the announcement on Tuesday, and then depending on how it goes and what happens, etc., it may become a regular weekly occurrence. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Until the next time.